So for this project, I used 5 researchers to back what I was saying and give light onto what I wanted to look into and the actual data behind it. So I used two by Laura C. Fillinger. One was about how many extracurricular activities you should be in for the best GPA. So 2 plus had the highest, followed by 1, and then 0 extracurriculars had the lowest GPA in ACT. And doing a mix of extracurriculars led to higher GPAs, such as like doing leadership and sports led to having higher GPAs. And then I used another one by her, which was about female and male athletes, and found that females who are athletes have higher GPA and ACTs than females who are not. And for males, there was no increase in GPA between males who were athlete and males who were not. I then used a study by Sina Sudhir about music specifically and its effect on GPA, and found that students who participated in music or knew how to play musical instruments had higher GPAs. I then used one also by Dervin G. Scott, who did an amount of hours spent each week leading to GPAs, and found that in order of having best to worst GPA is 12 hours, 7 hours, 5 hours, 2 hours, and then also did non-competitive versus competitive, and found non-competitive had the lowest GPA ACT, then competitive, and then a mix of both of them had the highest GPA and ACT. And then I used one by Sturb Arthurs that found that extracurriculars, or students who participate in extracurriculars, have the highest GPAs. And that he found in order they go service, fine arts, and sports. So what I learned from interviewing people is that I do think that students need to be in extracurriculars, and I do think it's good for them to be in 12 or more hours a week of extracurriculars. All the people I interviewed who were in 12 or more hours had a 4 or above. The one person who I interviewed who was in less did not have that GPA. It was still a very high GPA, but it was not as high as the others. So I do think that's a good amount of time to be spent on it. Because if you really divide it, it's only like 2 or more hours a day. And like they talked about in their videos, they say they think they teach about the same lessons, but really I think they learn from the schedules a lot, such as having to learn time management, not having a bunch of free time to like push things aside, but needing to get things done, learning how to be organized, learning how to plan things. I think those are very important skills they learned in them and transferred over. All of these people had above 30s on their ACTs, which is backed by all of this, that more time spent on extracurriculars lead to higher GPAs and ACTs, and all of these people had a mix of things. Some had larger mixes than others, but everyone did have a mix. It was no one was solely in only one thing, and all of them have very high GPAs and ACT scores, so I think that does go with the research and show that students should be involved in extracurriculars at least to some extent, and that they do teach very important life lessons. Doesn't so much matter which ones you do, but it is important to be in some of them.